Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
And I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. Each month we have a scent of the month. And for April we have Fresh Cut Roses as our scent. You can get 25% off all of the Fresh Cut Roses scented items in our shop. And so that's great for Mother's Day gifts or whatever, and we have other sale items you can check out. We actually are adding, I mentioned last week we added raspberry lotion. Well, we just added raspberry lip balm in our shop, and we wanted to give you a special so you could try it out. So if you order $10 or more of items, other items, not including the lip balm, use the coupon code TRYME, and you can get it free. So you order $10 or more of other items, put that in your cart, put in the coupon code, you get it for free. So you can try it out and let us know what you think. But that's kind of I don't know what you're laughing at, but yeah. So you can give that a try, and that coupon code will be good for just 1 week. So you gotta use that, take advantage of it from Monday through Sunday, and you can get that, try it out, and let us know what you think. So give you an opportunity to try our new products. So what's happening?
Farm happenings.
Farm happenings.
We've been on spring break this week,
that haven't been breaking though. No. We've been going full bore with projects. But
I guess it started off Monday with Fuji had her surgery, and the surgery went really well. The surgeon was really, really pleased with how it went. She said it was a definite need because when she got in there, the bone is supposed to have a curve in it, so that's where the kneecap will sit in that curve. Well, hers was completely flat. There was no curve whatsoever.
The groove that holds the kneecap in place, she said it was completely flat. So
yeah, so she had to go and.
So she was surprised that it hadn't happened sooner. Having any issues, but Fuji's kind of a pampered pooch, so she doesn't.
Yeah, but she runs around here like a little monkey up on the couches.
That's true. But yeah, so she said it was needed, so. That was done on Monday, and
she only had to stay one night, so that was good.
Well, yeah, and she was happy to see us when we picked her up. She was crying for her daddy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we got her picked up. She's in her playpen. She'll be there probably for the next 5 or 6 more weeks. Yeah. She goes in
for laser treatments every 3 days.
Yeah, and Tuesday she gets actually the bandaging on her leg off. So. I think that'll be good. She's
real uncomfortable all week.
Yeah, she's having a tough time getting around. She likes to go in circles and make her bed nice and comfy, and it's hard when her legs completely bandaged and stuck straight out. And I think she's still uncomfortable because she won't put much weight on it at all. So it's going to be a slow.
It's awkward too because they put like 1.5 inches of padding on the end, so it's she can't stand straight at all. So it's
well, yeah, it's going to be a slow recovery process, and so after 6 weeks, we'll see if Dawn will let her back out to run around or not. She likes keeping her contained where she's safe. Huh?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just worried that something's going to happen to the other one.
Well, we'll deal with it if it happens, but they when she first hurt the knee, they checked the other one and it said it wasn't moving at all. It seemed pretty secure, so hopefully that will stay that way and she doesn't have any other issues with the other knee. So
so while she was in surgery on Monday we went and got baby ducks. Little baby mallard ducks.
Yep.
And hopefully there's
more girls. Well, though, we went out there and we actually talked with the guy. This is the same place we go and get all of our birds from, and he was giving us a whole rundown on.
He's involved in 4-H and all the duck bird, chicken Association. Yeah.
You know, basically he's involved with the 4-H and does a lot of work with the kids, and his goal is to get kids interested and teach them what they need, and you know, he challenges them to show them at the fair and everything. So we were talking a bit about that, and you know, see if Jimmy wants to try and do some of the fair stuff. And
he doesn't want to wear the costume.
He can go in the open class. The open class, anyone can enter, whether you're in 4-H or not. You know, you can just enter in whatever birds you have, and so Jimmy could actually take some of our birds if he wants. And he said if Jimmy was interested, he would talk to him about what they look for in birds, so that they know what are good birds to show and which ones aren't. You know, because he has rabbits and horses and all varieties of, you know, ducks and chickens,
and,
turkeys, and you know, but he's got a lot of animals out there. But we talked to him for quite a while. We're out there for 45 minutes, an hour, before we even decided what birds we were getting. We were too busy talking with them.
Yeah, and Jimmy had wanted this one chicken. Oh, do you remember?
Oh, that? It was a meat chicken. It's
all white.
It's got a foreign name. It's
not. I keep thinking Aracuna.
No. It was Belgian hen. Something. It was like it had some. It was a foreign.
Jimmy would know the name, but
anyway. So these are meat birds. He says that they're grown solely for meat because they grow so fast that usually at 6 weeks they're ready to butcher. That if they won't live past 6 months, if you're lucky, because they get so big, so large, their legs can't even support them.
Yeah, they get up to 20 pounds.
Yeah, he said
usually
huge.
They die by 3 months, but you're lucky if it lasts till 6 months.
Yeah, just because they get so big, they can't walk. And he would say, you know, someone had tried to raise one, and it got to the point where it just couldn't move. And he says the movie studios, he gives them to the movie studios for their shooting because they just sit. They can't move, and so they don't run around. But, you know, so they use them for photo shoots and that sort of thing because they don't move. But it was interesting to hear about them because they're just strictly meat birds because they won't last. And you know.
Well, I'm glad he's knowledgeable and tells us instead of us just buying it because it's a pretty little white bird.
It's not like going to the pet store and saying, "No, I want one of them."
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of like that. I just have to keep it corralled, contained. But yeah, we did get 5 mallard ducks. No, they're just so entertaining to watch. So you know, they have fun chasing the dog. And you're playing in the
we'll
lake.
Definitely be able to tell the difference with the mallards because the girls are brown and then the boys
have a green head and they have a white ring.
Yeah,
and they're definitely
black.
Yeah, they're definitely a difference. And a lot of the ones that we have brown feathers coming in because they're just now getting their adult feathers. So it looks like we might have, you know, a bunch of girls if this is what turns out. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we don't pick them well.
It's random. We like the variety, so we'll see. They're how old are they now? About 7 weeks now.
I don't know.
Weren't they 6 last week and so 7 now? So yeah, so they're we got them right now in a cage, and I got an area set aside in one of the pens to kind of keep them separate until they get larger. So
they're very messy.
Yeah, messy ducks. They love water. Ooh. We have to keep filling the bowl because they
now when they're born in an incubator, they don't get to the oils like if they're hatched by their mama. So that's why these can't get out into the lake. They'll drown.
Yeah,
because they don't have the oils yet until they get their adult feathers. Now, if the mama hatches them, the babies get her oils from. And so they can go into, you know, the lakes or, you know, wherever you see them naturally out in their normal habitat. But
yeah, so we have to keep them out of the lake until they get fully feathered, and then they'll be able to go in, and their feathers will repel the water, and so then they'll have a good time, big party. So we have 10 ducks now. because we had 5.
They don't have names either because we can't tell them apart.
They're all all our other ducks there are distinctly different. You know, we got the white one, we got the gray one, we got the black one, we got the and that was our first round. And then we ended up getting and we found out JJ is not a Chinese crested duck.
She's a
call duck. So she's like this little mini duck.
She's considered a mini duck.
Yeah. So, but they call them a call duck, and so the little beak so she's actually not a Chinese. We didn't realize until we were talking with the guy out at the hatchery area.
We just thought she was
different. She's special. But yeah, so she's actually a call duck. She's not a crested, but our Chinese crested, he's
not Chinese crested, that's a dog.
No, or what is the
He's just a crested.
No, it's Chinese crested duck, I think. I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. So, if you're yelling at me because you know more, then you're probably right, because I'm thinking, probably getting my dogs and my ducks confused. They both start with D, so what's the issue? So, but yeah, so we have the 5 there, and then Jimmy wanted to balance it out, so we got 5 more.
Yeah.
But they're all Mallards, so we're gonna have a challenge naming these guys. So I'm not sure, because we haven't had them long enough to see personality, and they all kind of congregate together. So, so we'll see. Because our ducks that we have now, they all have kind of their own personalities. Are kind of funny. So I think as they get older and they start kind of exploring around, we'll start to see, and we can start naming them. Either that or we'll have to put little tags on their head.
Thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. I joke with Jimmy, I go, yeah, we can name one Bella and Edward, and he's like...
They're not vampire ducks. Tape little things on their bill, huh?
Wouldn't that be funny?
You get sparkly glitter on there and glue them to their feathers.
Yeah.
That's enough of that. Yeah. So anyway, so we got the ducks, and then I've been off on spring break myself this last week, and been busy prepping an area for grass and concrete, then to do some concrete walkways around, and then probably I'd say about another 1/4 acre of grass. So
it's not just a little grass area.
Yeah, it's a pretty large. It's probably 80 to 100 feet one way, and it varies by the shape. I don't do square blocks. I make them decorative. So I got all the sprinklers put in, all the piping laid, got all that backfilled. It's all ready to seed. Got all the formwork for the concrete. Well, it's half done. I got to do the rest of that. But I'm going to do pour the concrete first in 2 weeks. I got it all planned. And then after I get the concrete done, then I'll seed. We have an issue with the wind. The wind right now is blowing horrendously, so I couldn't seed even if I wanted to.
It's been hitting 70-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah. And so unless I want to seed the other side of the property, because that's where all the seed's going to end up, all the mulch and stuff that I'm going to cover it with will end up on the other side of the property. I'm not going to seed yet until after I get done with the concrete. So yeah, it's coming along. It's actually looking pretty nice out there. It's like balances out, because we had grass on one side. This kind of balances out the other side. So
yeah, been playing in the dirt.
Yeah. So that's been my spring break. I've been not kicking my feet up and eating bonbons.
To rest.
Yeah. Yeah, work's more mental. Yeah, it's not as physical as it is out here. But it keeps me balanced too. It's my exercise.
Yep.
So, but that was I think most of the farm happenings. Our fruit trees are doing good. We got apricots that are about that big on one of our apricot trees, and the wind hasn't blown off the fruit yet. We lost some of them.
I'm just waiting for the trees to come down and forget the fruit.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty well established. And then the new fruit trees that I put in, they're starting to leaf out, and even the larger pear tree is flowering and everything. So that's pretty good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I was, like I said, it's always a concern when you put a new tree in the ground that it has an issue. But they're all coming to life. So I think is that all the farm happenings? I was off for a week, and it seemed like it
flew by.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. And, yeah, I guess that's about it. for farm happenings.
What's cooking? I found a new recipe this week, and it's called crock pot teriyaki chicken. And this was, I needed something quick and easy, and so I always pan my crock pot so that it's easy to clean. I know they got them liners, but then that's putting crap in the landfills and... So you dice up your chicken, you throw that in, you put a cup of chicken broth, a half cup of teriyaki sauce, a 1/3 cup brown sugar, and 3 cloves of garlic, and you let it cook for 4 to 6 hours and serve it over rice. And
it was really good. The only thing I would make a change to that is add some flour to thicken up the sauce. Yeah. I think it was too runny. It needs to be,
Well, I really didn't measure out the...
Imagine that.
The broth.
That's why I do a lot of cooking. If it needs to be measured, I need to measure it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I added extra teriyaki sauce to balance it.
Yeah, but it is, like I said, the only comment I have is this is our first try.
And I think it needed more spice. It'd be good to, like, dice up some red and green bell peppers in it. And
Yeah, it was really good, taste-wise. The only issue is I have is when you put it on rice and all the juice goes across your plate. I'm like, that's a little thin, you know? So if you add some flour to thicken it up, that'd probably be a good addition to the recipe. And then it stays with the rice. Yeah. So, but that's me. That's my my cooking flair.
That, yeah.
I always change things up, which you'll hear about in a little bit.
Oh. So, in the coop.
In the coop.
Might as well go into the coop.
Yeah, let's jump into the coop.
I dug out my Color Affection, and this is by Vera Valimaki, because I am determined to get this off the needles. And this is done with Cascade, Heritage, Sock, and Como Blue, Gray, and Mango. And it's done on size 6 circulars, and it's bunched up big time. Where is my
Dicky-doo?
My Dicky-doo. So, yeah, I did quite a bit. And it gets hung on these needles, the signature needles. That's one thing I wouldn't get any more. Why I wouldn't get any more. I prefer the highs because the cable is so flimsy that you have to constantly be stopping and pushing up and over this. See, it gets hung.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the tips are nice, but yeah, so are the highs, and you don't have to worry about this. And I've seen a lot of people on Plurk where they've just broke, which I'm like, ugh. So, it's gray, orange, and turquoise. So, yeah. I want it done.
You want it done?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting close, because I think you go all the way doing the short rows to all the way across here, I'm assuming. I counted my stitches last night, and I don't have enough, so I'm assuming you go all the way across, and then you do the border. So, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, and you got some help on doing the tricolor yarn, too.
Oh, thank you. Yes, from Becky. She put a comment in her order that, see, this is another thing I did, is I took like 15 minutes to get this mess untangled. And
rat's nest.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I literally had it strung across the family room, and one by one.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, under, over, and but Becky said to put it in baggies, and so you know it's not. You still have to when you're working this color, make sure you're moving. You move them so it doesn't. Because it's still going to twist around, because whenever you're carrying up, you twist it. So, yeah, that's a good tip. I know Enid had mentioned putting it in like little tubs, margarine like tubs and stuff, which would work too. So anything to keep it separated.
Yeah. So I know that's helped out. When you've been, you know, knitting the last little bit here, because
yeah, I was really frustrated.
So good tip.
And this is my. It reminds me of Nemo, and that's helped so much. Like it better.
I would have never picked you for those colors.
No, I have no clue why I picked this. I had the gray because I won it on the yarn crawl last year. Mm-hmm. So I needed 2 colors. Why I didn't pick like red and black? You know, orange and I have no idea.
Who knows?
I was probably thinking, I need to get away from pink and green.
Yeah, you do that occasionally.
Yeah.
That lasts about that long.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering the whole time while you're knitting the project why you picked those.
Yeah.
To make a note to yourself next time you do something out of the ordinary. So is that all that's in your coop?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I've got something in my coop. Unzip my zipper for you. I am doing the Preemie Baby Beanie.
It's a free pattern.
It's a free pattern on Ravelry.
By Carol Everett.
Because that name's not on there, so at least you remember. By Carol Everett, and I am doing this on my yarn barf there.
Yeah, he learned what yarn barf is.
Let's see. Let me undig this. I don't know what kind of yarn is it. Oh, it's down at the bottom. Dashing Docks Sport Superwash in the Froggen colorway.
Yeah, it was a wool girl colorway. I don't even know.
But here, let me pull this out so you can see my yarn barf and the colors. So that's what I'm doing it out of. And pull out my progress here. I'm doing these on Hayas. They are
should be a 2.
Number 2, 2.75 millimeter. Ooh, see, I can read. There's my Dickie do. Last time I know I only did a little bit here, and I've done this much over the last week, and so it's coming along. Be really
still and let them see.
Okay, now here's where my creativity, new knitter syndrome comes into play. Okay, I'm done.
I happened to come up behind him, and
she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing what the pattern says." She goes, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yes, I am." It says, "Okay, I've got all the ribbing done. Knit 2, purl 2, knit 2." Went around, got my 10 rows there, and I had done this, and I got the ribbing done about the time. Had I started knitting before you went to bed last night? No. So it was after you had already gone to bed, I finished up that. And I thought, okay, the next section says, knit stockinette for 2.5 inches, 17 rows. Stockinette. I did stockinette on my washcloths. You know, you knit one, you purl one. You knit one, you purl one. Turns out, in the round, that's not what stockinette is. I found out today, but I've already got 10 rows of my knit one, purl one. See, little bumpies there, and little ridges.
How the heck did you get bumps? You were knitting in the round. And so I thought he had it turned inside out. And then
I'm like, no, I know what stockinette is because I did that on the washcloth. So, you were already in bed and, no sense in bugging you. So I'm like,
well,
okay.
You were correct. That is what stockinette is.
Because my thought is, if you need to knit 17 rows, then write knit 17 rows. Why put stockinette? It's confusing for us new knitters. So anyway, I'm making my own design now. So it's going slower because I'm purling every other row, but that's okay. I'm adding my artistic flair to the hat. So, but yeah, so I'm working on it. It's coming along.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it. Not doing it right, but that's okay. I keep my notes, so next time if I want to make one that looks like that. Because I said, well, do you have one already done so I can look at it? Yeah, it looks different. So yeah, this is my that's my adaptation of the preemie beanie hat. So, but yeah, it's coming along. One of these days I'll get that wrapped up. Hopefully by next podcast. And I always say this.
That's what you've been saying for 2 weeks now.
I know, but I haven't done any knitting for the
No.
2 weeks. So I actually spent a couple days actually knitting this week. Did the other night doing the ribbing. So yeah, I did a little bit. Like I said, it's a little slow going now that I'm purling every other row. But maybe I'll do another one that's all knitting and see how much faster that goes. So, so yeah, so that is my mess up, my alteration. That's it. Well, it's not messing up because it's still making a hat, right?
Yeah.
So let me zip my zipper back up. So,
Flown the Coop. Flown the Coop is my Gills Rock. And that is by Paula Ingens Feasley. I'll show you a picture if it'll go. Go. There's what it looks like.
In a solid?
In a solid, yes. Because I did Craft Me Happy in
The waffle?
in the something waffle. And I've been saying that she's craftmehappy.com. Well, she's now going to be back on Etsy.
Oh.
So, you can find her there. So, this is my Gills Rock. It's all blocked and... yeah. I'm going to put it up closer so you can see the detail. And I'm sure the waffle stitch pattern, you know, which it shows up more on a solid, but I think it looks really cool.
Looks good to me.
Yep. So, it's really nice and soft yarn. The yarn was really nice to work with. An awesome pattern. Just fabulous. Which I can't wait to knit more of Paula's patterns because it's a fun knit. You just want to keep knitting till you get done. So, yep. Reminds me of the beach.
Yeah.
It kind of goes. So, there's nothing I did different on here. I had like 40 grams of yarn left over, so quite a bit, so I can make preemie hats with that, and you know, because that can go for a boy or girl, you know, hat. And there's Craig at the back door. See, I'm paying attention this time. So, Beagle Mom knitter Angela her dog thinks that a chicken lives in her computer.
Yeah. It does when you have Wolf Farms there.
Yeah, poor
You
thing.
get the geese tapping at the back door and Craigie.
Yep.
Crowing.
And I wanted to mention, because I was asked last week what the shrug was called that I was wearing, and I wasn't wearing a shrug. I was wearing my Seaside Shawlette, and this is by Wendy D. Johnson. And it's actually a shawl I was wearing, and it's done in the Desert Vista Gradient Aquamarine colorway. So it's actually a shawl that, which I do a lot of them, you wrap it, you know, like if you were wearing it, you know, shawl style, but the ends I tie in a teeny tiny knot right behind me, and then it looks like a shrug, and it's not going to fall off, or, you know, the tails aren't going to get into something. So yeah, it's a shawl. I do a lot of them that way, but I know I was asked a couple times, so
Yeah, that was
thought it would.
nice colorway. I like that.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? She does good. And she's now at, you can find some of her stuff at Loopy U. Or will be. Sometime soon.
Soon. In the near future.
Yeah. So, yep.
Cool.
So I thought I would share that, and
Pretty awesome.
because I didn't last week. say what I was wearing.
Well, darn, shame on you.
Yeah, I know. Usually I do, and oh, oops.
Oops.
So Farmer's Market, I wanted to mention Rosie Retro tabs. Her shop, which is Rosie Retro Yarns and Fibers on Etsy. And she has the coupon code for 10% off Rosie Summer until June 1st. And here's some of her stitch markers. So I wanted to mention her again, and that's nice of her to offer that. And I also showed last week the hurricane yarn, and it doesn't have. She's on Etsy too, and remember this really pretty yarn. See, did you notice? Yeah, you notice it's wound up.
Yeah.
But I did not cast on because I am bound and determined to get this color affection. That's
You've
that's
got
my
cast
goal.
on-itis lately.
Yeah.
So
The other day I go, I just want to wind yarn.
those projects just calling at your name.
Yes. It's like, and
Yeah. There was yarn jumping off your yarn stash here the other morning. I went in there and it was on the floor.
See, it's saying knit me.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to be on the
It's
shelf
getting
anymore.
impatient.
Yeah.
It's jumping off. And
So, Christy's so awesome at Hurricane Yarn. She is offering a 10% off anything in her shop, and with the code WOLF10, WOLFE 10, until the end of the month. So, I noticed she doesn't, I keep refreshing every day to see if she's put in the new Doctor Who colorways. But she's got a lot of pretty stuff in her shop. So I'm going to refresh, see if she got them in there yet. Not yet, but she's got some beautiful turquoise and blues and pinks, and so go check her out and give her some love, and that's pretty awesome. Nice coupon.
Mm-hmm.
So
save a little on filling in your yarn stash.
Yeah, because this is really, really, really pretty. And I noticed the flamingo one that was in her shop's gone. Somebody got it. It wasn't me. So go check her out. And then I wanted to mention that there's still a coupon code till April 20th on the Lindisfarne shawl that A. Megara, which is Angel. I'm going to cover my bases.
However you want to call her.
Yeah. And the coupon code for that is shawl3, so you can get $1 off of that shawl. So wanted to mention that one again. Squeal Like a Pig, I just closed that down. Blooming Knitter, who is the Knitting Bloom podcast hostess, and she has, which is her real name's Tina Robbins, she gifted me her pattern Trials with Lace, and it's a shawl pattern that uses fingering weight yarn, and it is beautiful. Which then I'm like, ooh, well that green would look pretty in that too.
I like the purple color.
I do too.
Pictures.
Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. It's a stunning
It's
purple.
like a Concord grape. Yeah.
I don't know what she used. It doesn't say. It just says 425 to 450 yardage. I'm sure if you went on Tina's
her project
project page, she would have it.
That's just a pretty color.
It is. Ooh, there's another picture of it. Ooh. I know. I moved it quick. So it just looked really pretty on that lime shirt. So wanted to mention that. So that's pretty awesome. I think she's either having a knit along with it or it's going to start soon. I forgot to check. So thank you, Tina. And now we move to I'm like, nope, we don't have that. Nope, we don't have that. In the Arena, I watched a new podcast, and it's called Knitting Go. And it's a video podcast with Rye Crafty, and she's on Ravelry Plurk as Rye Crafty, and her name is Heather. She lives in Canada, and she works in the theater. I think she said she does backstage stuff, so like when the name of her podcast has to do with that, because when you're backstage and you're directing like the lighting people, you'll say, you know, light number 84, go.
Oh, okay.
You know, like if you need a spotlight, and so that's why she's knitting go, you know. so I thought that was a cute name, because I was like, knitting go, what do you know? So that was cool that her first episode she tells why that is, and she said she's, you know, would probably discuss a little bit of her job, because that sounds really interesting to, you know, hear about. And so she shows a beautiful sweater she's done. She has 2 episodes. She's on Vimeo. She's trying to get on to iTunes, so go give her a watch. And it was really interesting and gorgeous sweater. Ooh, and the one she's knitting now, I can't remember the name of it. It's got all these cables and really pretty and neat construction. And she really goes into the different construction of it. So go give Heather a listen. And no Ravelry group. I double checked this morning yet. So yep. Yep.
Give it a try.
Yep.
Might like it.
Yeah, might like it. And what else? Knitting Brooklyn and TB McCarthy are still doing the preemie knit along until May 29th. So if you are interested in doing little preemie hats for that. And Sheep Dreamery is I've lost my whole train of thought. Is helping with our hatchet each month, giving away a skein of yarn. So I wanted to give her a shout out, and because that's just so sweet of her. And she has the Sheep Dreamery podcast, so go give her a listen to. And it's always fun.
She's on Etsy, right?
Yes, her shop is on Etsy.
So you can go check her out there and see what she's got in the shop.
Yeah, she has she's been having a spring fever sale where if you purchase $25 worth of yarn, you get 25% off. Yeah. So if you go to her shop, and someone bought my saltwater taffy. But she still's got beautiful yarn in her shop, and so yep. She's a hoot, that old Kelly girl. So I think that about wraps it up, what I got to say.
What about that one?
I did both of those.
Oh, okay. I didn't, you didn't, okay, got it. I'm here. Really.
Some of that's my links, so it's easier.
Yeah, okay,
in the
well,
morning.
I'm just seeing the crazy stuff going on her notes.
You never pay attention to notes anyways.
I know, because you never follow them.
Or recipes.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just get this thing wrapped up.
So I'm on, I never mentioned this, I'm on Plurk, Twitter, Instagram, this new thing, Mammoth. I haven't been on there, but I'm on there. Pinterest, Ravelry, all is Knittin' Wolf, MyFitnessPal, which is really, really fun. So, yep.
I think I'm on Ravelry. I try and get on there as much as I can, but I don't.
Well, you're on Plurk and Instagram, but you're not on there.
I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm not out playing in the dirt, then I'm at work.
Yeah.
Doing stuff, so they keep me busy.
Yep, they do.
Anyway, so like I said, for the Wolf Farm stuff, give our new raspberry lip balm a try. You know, $10 or more in other products, not counting shipping. Just make clear. Use the coupon code TRYME and the lip balm will be free. If you want, you can get one of our video podcast buttons for free. Enter in the comments section that you'd like us to ship one out. So on any paid order, just let us know you want one. We'll be happy to stick one in along with that. Yeah. And I guess that's about it. So just give it a try. We got some new stuff coming on in the shop here over the next couple weeks. We got a lot of kind of backlog of stuff we're finally getting to to get into the shop. So keep an eye out and ear for maybe another discount or two coming down the line. But the Try Me for the lip balm is good for 1 week only. So you got from Monday, the April 15th through Sunday, what would it be, that the 21st, 22nd? So you get a week to place an order and get that for free.
On the raspberry.
On the raspberry. It's only good for the raspberry. So yeah, add that to your cart, and then during checkout put the Try Me coupon code in there, and it'll deduct that off, and you'll get it for free. So I'll give that a shot, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Yeah. So this is where.
So until next time.
Let's get cracking
And have
it.
Bye, y'all.